Hello, here is a pretty interesting game played in the AYD League that black won by 9.5 points, but towards the end there was a pretty big unforced error around this point where white captured a bunch of stones and made the game much closer. So normally here black should see the damage to or the shortage of liberties coming up, so simply block with Atari from the outside, white captures a stone, then cover or play other moves, for example this Hane, which is Sente, and then yeah, still block here. Well, black can also play Atari, and if white comes up, fight a Ko, but being ahead you just cover and then next move you're going to play Atari. So this was a pretty big unforced error. White goes Atari, then black Atari from behind, and white connects. White should actually capture the stones, and now the other 4 stones are in Atari, so black needs to block, and now white can play other moves. Instead of blocking here for 1 point, it's more interesting to go down or play this kind of move or some other Sente moves before playing the Kote move. Anyway, let's go back to the beginning. The opening was quite interesting and actually pretty good for black, but there was a chance for white to come back in the middle game and make it very close, and then, well, this capture at the end that really got the game close, but not enough. So we have a very modern start with a 2-space high Shimari. White approaches the low right corner, which is normal to prevent the second corner enclosure. Black pincers, 1 space high pincer. This leads to some interesting josekis. So white comes out, that's good. Came on the 4th line. Pincer shows some fighting spirit. White can push several times here. This is a pretty simple joseki, I keep seeing it, especially in AI games. And then white can counter pincer. So attack this Q7 and also remove the ideal extension that black wants to play on the right side. Usually black will play a Kosumitsuke like this and then maybe approach on the right side, but white is happy with the potential on the right towards the center. So this move shows fighting spirit, and it's an old-fashioned joseki move. Black separates, white comes out, so far so good. But when black pushes again, this kind of move hurts Q7. Obviously white will go between black stones. So there's a better way. Usually black should play R4 Kosumitsuke. This comes later in the game, but it can be played right now. White will most of the time descend, and then instead of pushing O6, you just go out with M6. So you separate white stones, but you don't lean too much on the stones here, and then white usually extends on the side to make a base, and black continues with a pincer around J4, for example, trying to surround this M4. So this is a basic pattern, a joseki. Anyway, black push from behind, white comes out. Now black jumps on the right to save that stone. White turns, but actually here, white can just attach in the corner. When black doesn't play the Kosumitsuke at R4, this is a move that white should play to fix the corner and kind of punish black for not taking it. So black will usually Hane on the 2nd line, and here white either goes down, in which case black will hit the vital point, and now white makes a bamboo connection. Or white can also think about Q4 and then descend. This is another way to fix eye shape in the corner. And the variation, it's kind of 50-50, close to a joseki, let's say. But it's good to remember that black was supposed to play this Kosumitsuke in an earlier phase of the fight. So we have this kind of follow-up, the turn, Kosumitsuke is coming, that's good. When white wants to keep Sente here, instead of descending S5, white can play a Hane. This move, usually black will block the corner, so this exchange is Sente for white. Now white can play Hane N6 or a jump, or the jump that was played in the game. And Hane N6 is good because it removes the liberty for the 3 stones, so in this case white wants to push and cut, which means that black is going to defend at N3. Now there are no more cut issues in the corner. White can play this Atari also, but this can wait. And now just play a move on the outside to protect against the cut. This is a pretty good move because if black cuts, white has the ladder that goes into the top left corner. So just Nobi, it was a little bit soft, and in this case black can attach M5 and split white stones. So when Hane, you go up, and when jump here, Nobi again, or cover to surround the bottom stone. This is a pretty important spot to play M5 and separate white groups. Therefore, that's why white should consider the N6 move. So black played the Hane under. This is also very big. And white answers. Then black plays away. So far so good. So the opening is quite promising for black actually. Because somehow it feels that white misplayed the Joseki in the lower right corner. So black got the profit in the corner. Those Q9 stones are quite safe. And white's group is just floating in the middle. And at any moment in the game, black can play this M5 to separate the bottom stones from the group on the right. And this should be played later on when white is trying to set up a large moil. Now in the top we have a basic pattern. The modern one, it's always attach D17, then slide with the Hane, Atari, connect under, pull back and extend to the top or push. So this is the more popular variation nowadays, but the old fashion is to slide like this and extend back, which is fine development for black here, because black develops the moil in the direction of 016. So now I got an interesting move, but this jump seems a little bit soft. It's more active for white to try and attach at Q16 to see black's reaction. This is a pro move to see whether black will block the corner or block the outside. So for example, if black just plays Q17, white can make a cross cut in the corner, black extends, then white can play Atari, connect, black needs to capture the stone in the top, and now white extends for a base. And in this case, the two white stones on the right side get a little bit in trouble. Alright, so back to the original game. So I played this jump. I think the reason for this move was to reduce the right side and the top, keep it in check, but in the same time also help the N7 group, but black can still play M5 to get inside the moil. So black is actually happy to get this Q12. It's helping the Q9 and also builds territory on the 4 line, the so-called line of victory. This is a very big move, F3. And black also plays an excellent move, this submarine approach. Black has all kind of moves to enter the left side. Sorry, I mean a move like C8, it's an option. C9 or shoulder hit C4, G4, the attach at M5. But going for the submarine, it's a pretty good choice. So when black plays a move like C9, white can approach C11, and then when black approaches the corner at C6, white is already protected at F3. So now white will kick and then put some pressure with a move like E10. This is very comfortable for white. It's a good flow. Therefore, black had a nice idea to go with this submarine approach on the lower left corner. So here, white puts pressure to go for outside thickness, which is also a fine idea. In general, white will keep the corner either at C4 or B4. So in this case, black can simply step up in center and then extend for a base. Now white extends from the top left corner. For white, it's very important to play this C11 in a situation like this, because if white just plays away, black is very happy to approach C12 and put pressure on the top left corner. So this exchange feels good for black. Therefore, white will probably take that point. So white can go territorial like this, but in this particular case, white is obviously looking for a big center, so put pressure on the outside. That's a feasible move too. So black pushes under, that's good, jump in the corner. Now usually here, white should turn first at C4 in center, actually push once, and then turn at D3. Because this will be a 4 sequence, and it's a Joseki, so now I can play this kind of jump, or the bottom side, or some other moves on the board. The thing is, when white blocks right away at D3, black has the option to go down, and also to pull back at C4. Because playing C4, it's threatening a Hane at D5 to cut and get into the center. But black went down, so it's pretty much the same thing. White can still make this exchange now. So white extends J4, and white obviously is trying to build a big bottom side and a nice center. And now it's still the right timing to get inside the moil with M5. So black jumps on the left side. This invasion is possible because if white simply turns B7, black will turn one time in center and now extend for a base at C12. So white plays a counter pincer, which shows fighting spirit. Black can still push here at C5, then connect underneath, and even double Hane, because this creates some margin in the center. Black can push like this, but actually right now, black is center, so already the stone was connected, this C9, and it's good to enter either M5 or jump from the top. A move like f15, it's actually very good when you have this basic Joseki shape in the top, because it prevents the forcing moves that white will use later in the game, a16 combined with f16. So those two forcing moves will set up a moyo for white, and therefore when you play the jump at f15, it's too late for white to try those moves. And in the same time, it's going to increase the moyo in the top while keeping white's potential quite low or limited. So black connects under like this, push. This was risky. Black shouldn't play like that, just connect underneath. Playing this move gives white a pretty big chance to target a heavy group and then get back in the game. So white got the two forcing moves in the top, very good. Now being weak in the center, black doesn't have time to respond e17 or g16, because white will just Atari and now try a very aggressive attack on the center of the group. So if white manage a severe attack and capture these 4 stones on a large scale, white will build a lot of territory in the center. Therefore, for black right now, instead of playing e17, which is gote, or the wedge, which is also gote, black should play an attach move here. If white pulls back, simply jump out and try to leave in the center. And now, of course, white will profit by playing this kind of move or the wedge and connect, but you gotta let that happen. So when black pulls back here, white is actually sente. For white, these two moves should be kikashi, sente forcing moves. But white played another move, and now playing this move, white end up gote, and black has time to protect the weak stones in the center. So this is the time or the place in the game where white lost an opportunity to come back with a strong counter attack like this peep, and then a cap move or this kind of move to push the black group into the bottom area, which is quite strong for white. So this can be a pretty promising attack. So when white connects here, black has a chance to come out. It's still okay to play an attach, and on the hane, you go with a double hane. When Atari, you counter Atari. When capture, Atari again. Because if white tries to attack too severe, you can rely on this kind of co-capture, and it's easier to make eye shape that way. So once you attach and hane and counter hane, white might go nobi, and then it's more interesting or easier to make this kind of eye shape and block with ko again, then jump out. So this is a good way for black to set up a sabaki. Here white can peep this way. Yeah, this happened in the game. So the group can be heavy. If black connects, white will probably attack quite severe with g10 to take away the eye shape. So black bumps, white extends, and black jumps out with a nice and light shape. This is a good move. So it's a jump around here. So what happens? White invades the top. This kick, it's a little bit questionable. If you want to keep the top safe, usually you just play 017. And if white comes out, you don't have to do anything in the top. The corner is safe enough, and now you can come back in the center with another jump to secure. And if white doesn't defend in the top, if white plays, for example, something like, let's say, a jump here, then you can play attach and crosscut, or just keima and hane to surround the two stones in the top. So playing the kick, obviously white will come up, and then there's a weak spot at p17, therefore black needs other moves here, like this keima, that's good. White is trying to get inside. And actually here, for black it's more interesting to try to catch those two stones in the top. So push along like this a couple of times, because this will just make black stronger, and then keima like this in order to catch the two stones on a large scale. So make that kind of territory. This one leaves a cutting point at 015. White can simply go out actually. And that's what white did. Push again. Oh, this pip is troublesome, because it creates some nice agi in the top for white. So being in trouble in the center, black should actually nob again, because here white can push an Atari. And then when white protects to connect the stones to the left, the group in the top, it's quite safe for now, and black has time to play in the center to fix this one. Playing this pip is very dangerous, so white can go on a counter attack again. Yeah, black reinforces the center, And now white can always push here and play Atari. So these are white center moves. But white should actually push in the top, then cut H18. If black captures a stone, white will kill the corner. So that's the price black pays for this bad exchange. Because once white got the G16, that variation works in the top. And if black connects on the left, white will connect under. Now here, if black tries to resist with this Hane, there's Atari, Atari again, Atari one more time, Atari again, Atari all the way. So those stones are captured already. Which means you cannot play the Hane, and if you play the Nobi, white will connect under, then you need to protect here, but now the top dies. So once you have this kind of situation on the board, you need to push in the corner, then play E19 to leave with that group. And the two stones in the top, white can capture with an Atari here, or an Atari like this. Actually, the good style is to play K17. So white could get a nice profit just cutting through a G17. But white played a move in the center, which is really not necessary, because once you push and cut here as white, and you capture those stones, and black makes a painful life. Yeah, pushing the corner is more important. But anyway, black has to leave like this with 2 points. White already got a nice profit, and the group is safe because it's now connected in the top. So white missed another opportunity to have a pretty good shape or comeback in the game. Now black leaves here, quite comfortable. So once this Moyo, it's pretty vanished, after all these black moves in the center, the game looks really promising for black. I mean, black is something like 20-30 points ahead. So we get into the end game stage, and let's see what happened. This is a good block. Yeah, now black got rid of that issue in the top, but it's still good to play a move like this to keep eye shape and then also protect the top right. So descent. Yeah, black send game is pretty good. This move is not necessary. You can fight that call. But yeah, right now it's okay to block at S9. Prevent the monkey jump at T11. If white captures a stone here, you can fight the call, and if you don't have coat rate, you just connect. You don't lose so much. But this monkey jump on the right side is quite large, and it's center for white. Very well played. It's better to block the top right at 018. Anyway, you need to pay attention in the top left, because if moves like this come on the against the group, it can even die. Okay, monkey jump again. Yeah, that was dangerous too. Oops, misclick. Capture, block. White connects, black defends, then white pushes inside. So in the end, black still lost lots of points in the top right corner. But it seems that black has a lot of territory, so black can afford that. Yeah, there's no way to kill this group. Black can come out and connect to the center. That's good. Nothing works in the corner. Yeah, so here, black can just no-B, white connects, and then push again, and push again, and then connect, or play away. Playing Atari, black connected, white blocks, and black has to come back and connect solid. Because when black connects here, white plays Atari, and black needs this connection in Gote. But if black connects here, white can push, black can push through after that. White needs to protect, and then, well, this push is sent anyway. Yeah, but you still need to connect here. Yeah, it will be Gote no matter what. But here, when you block with Atari in Sente, white can also capture this stone. So it's still better to connect this way and then this way. So right now, nothing announces a disaster or a collapse in the middle. But once you play fast, never know. It's good to play Atari on 2 stones, then Atari, Hane, Atari, and then connect. Okay, something like that happened. Oh, it's very big to play this Sane, because if white starts a core, it's quite dangerous. And when white plays this block, you connect, white needs to come back and defend, and then you catch a stone on the left side. If white protects the left side, then you have Atari, Atari, and capture. Small endgame tactics that could go a little bit better for black. Yeah, that was big. This is fine too. White is trying hard to come back, but actually here it's better to protect this way. Because when black goes Atari and white plays Atari from the outside, black needs another move. But if black plays Atari right away and white plays here, black doesn't need another move inside. So that will save 1 point for black. Anyway, it was a minus for white to play those moves inside. And here, black should actually just connect. And now we've seen what happened. But not enough to come back and turn the game around. So overall, this was black's victory pretty much from the Fuseki. Enjoy the review and better luck next games.